Dude, don't go away, man. Come on, this affects all of us, man. Our basic freedoms.
Hey, what's up, world? Before I get into this quick video about the Georgia Guidestones and why I believe the cult was behind its destruction, I want to let everybody know that I do have a long and very detailed video about the Georgia Guidestones titled The Truth About the Cult of Science and the Georgia Guidestones. However, this video can only be found on my Odyssey channel because YouTube deleted it. It somehow violated their terms of service. It was deemed harmful content. And for some reason, BitChute didn't upload it. And at this time, I didn't have a Rumble, so it's not on my Rumble channel either. But you can find this video on my Odyssey channel. I definitely recommend everybody go and watch it. But anyway, let's move on to this video, and let's look at a couple of reasons why I believe the club was responsible for the destruction of the Georgia Guidestones. And then at the end of the video, I'll discuss why I think that they destroyed the Georgia Guidestones. So the first bit of evidence, or the first thing that leads me to believe that the club was responsible for destroying the Georgia Guidestones, is the very precise time that the Georgia Guidestones were destroyed, or at least the one stone, because as we'll see in a moment, the other stones were virtually unscathed by this explosion. But anyway, if we look at the time that the explosion occurred, we're going to see that it occurred at 4:03 and 33 seconds in the morning, or 4:03:33 in the morning. So let's check out this security surveillance video. So as you can see, this is the time. You get 4:03 or 4:03, 4 o'clock, 3 minutes and 33 seconds. It goes off at exactly the 33-second mark. Now, one of the first things that I found interesting about this was not just simply the time of 4:03 and 33 seconds, but it was the fact that this explosive was timed up perfectly with the time on this surveillance system. I mean, maybe that's just me finding that odd, but don't you find that a little odd? That's like the person who set up this explosive, whatever they timed that explosive with, was exactly in sync with the time on this surveillance system. Very odd. Of course, to get that 4:03 and 33 seconds. Now, I know that some people might say that a person who's not part of the club can still do this. This could be their way of mocking the club. But I really doubt that. Now, the next bit of evidence that makes me really think that the club was responsible for the destruction of the Georgia Guidestones is the fact that they did not need to demolish the Georgia Guidestones. You see, this is the Georgia Guidestones after the explosion. And as you can see, only one of these stones was destroyed. This center column, it actually wasn't destroyed at all. The center column is normally a thin column like this. So the explosion, whatever it was, only destroyed one of the stones. But for some reason, they decided to destroy all of the stones. Now, the third reason that makes me believe that the club was responsible for this is the really choppy surveillance videos that they've released so far. Like the videos that I've seen so far, maybe there's a lengthier video out there, but the videos that they've released so far, it's like, come on, you guys don't have a clear video of the suspect? And not just that, but the excavator that they used to remove the Georgia Guidestones and demolish them, it had tinted windows. I kind of found that a little odd. And I'm going to have a picture of that excavator in this video's thumbnail, but I noticed that the windows were tinted. Kind of found that just a little strange. Now, let me get into the reasons why I think that they destroyed it. Now, there's a couple of reasons, and the first reason has to do with this giant stone over here. Now, this giant stone over here is actually a time capsule. And if we look at it, this is one picture. I couldn't find a very good picture of like the entire stone, but this is one of the things that is written on it. But to get a really clear idea of what's actually written on the stone, we can actually go over to Wikipedia. Now, the part that I want to focus on is, of course, I mean, the author here where it says author R.C. Krishnan. I go over who that is in this video, but that's not relevant to this video. But what I want to go over is the time capsule portion of this giant tablet that's on the floor. And the first thing is that it doesn't say when the time capsule is going to be placed there. It says placed 6 feet, 1.83 meters below this spot on, and then it has a blank space. And then it has another thing to be opened on, and then another blank space. So this makes me wonder, were the Georgia Guidestones destroyed to open up this time capsule, or were they destroyed to bury the time capsule? That's just one theory that I have, just one wild idea to throw out there. The other reason I believe they destroyed the Georgia Guidestones to cover their tracks. You see, if they're going to have a real great reset, they can't have things like the Georgia Guidestones hanging around. So my idea is if they are going to have a real great reset, and by a real great reset, I mean World War III kicking off, nukes, if they do exist, flying, and if nukes aren't flying, then there's still at least going to be a massive destruction of infrastructure, and not just a destruction of infrastructure, but even a potential destruction of the internet as we know it. So there's going to be a massive loss of information, or at least a potential mass of loss of information in the real Great Reset. You know how we have ancient civilizations that we don't know anything about? I believe that we're headed towards another one of those events. I think it's very possible that we're headed towards one of those events. Maybe they really are about to reduce the population down to 500 million. And if such an event does happen, I would think that they wouldn't want these Guidestones hanging around. And if this is the case, as I said, this could spell major trouble for all of us. This could really mean that their true Great Reset isn't too far away.
This has happened before. It'll probably happen again. I have no more comments.